Airline operators withdraw planned suspension of domestic airline operations scheduled for today. Seek urgent government intervention to stay afloat. NMPC, NMDPRA and marketers take measures to ramp up loadouts from all depots assured of adequate supply of petrol. Nigerian exchange extends rally emerges best performing bourse in Africa, and oil prices slip on Monday along with stock markets in Asia sparked by fears a global recession could dampen oil demand. This is Business Express on the network service of the NTA, and we are reaching you from Abuja, the nation's capital. I am Musa Abubakar. Well, it's good to have you join us. Let's begin with aviation. The Airline Operators of Nigeria, AON, has withdrawn its planned action as regards the suspension of domestic airline operations earlier scheduled for Monday, 9th May 2022. A statement jointly signed by the chief executive officers of major domestic airlines in the country, the group said it's withdrawing its initial action based on numerous calls from the highest echelons in government with promises to urgently intervene in the crisis being faced by airlines due to the astronomical and continuously rising cost of Jet A1. The statement further explained that the development will allow a fresh round of dialogue with government in the hope of reaching an amicable solution. AON said the decision was also propelled by the highest consideration for air travelers who have been faced with uncertainty over the last few days and to enable them have access to travel to their various destinations for the time being during the period of discussion with relevant authorities. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPC) notes the sudden appearance of fuel queues in parts of Abuja. A statement by Garbuddin Mohammed, Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, say this is likely due to low loads out at depots, which usually happen during long public holidays, in this case the Salah celebrations. Another contributing factor to the sudden appearances of queues is the increased fuel purchases, which is also usual with returning residents of the FCT from the public holidays. NNPC and the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, in conjunction with marketing partners, have taken necessary measures to ramp up loadouts from all depots. The NNPC assures residents of the FCT and indeed all Nigerians that have ample local supplies and national stock in excess of 2.5 billion litres with sufficiency of more than $43. The NNPC has advised motorists not to engage in panic buying as supplies are adequate and will become increasingly evident in the coming days. Now, oil prices slip on Monday along with stock markets in Asia sparked by fears a global recession could dampen oil demand, with investors eyeing European Union talks on a Russian oil embargo that is expected to tighten global supplies. Brent crude dropped 28 cents to $112.11 a barrel. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude was at $109.36 a barrel, down 41 cents. Global financial markets are also spooked by concerns over interest rate hikes and extended COVID-19 lockdowns in China that are hurting the world's #2 economy. Saudi Arabia, world's top oil exporter, lowered crude prices for Asia and Europe for June on Sunday. As at 1st January 2022, Nigeria's crude oil reserve stood at 37.046 billion barrels, recording an increase of 37%. The Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Benga Komolafe, says Nigeria's gas reserve grew by 1% to 208.62 trillion cubic feet of gas in 2022. These are highlights of media engagement with the Commission. Leader Samson reports.
Upstream oil and gas sector of the nation's economy, the Commission Chief Executive Officer Benga Komolafe applauded the media for being strategic partners in the dissemination of information of its activities. He says the PIA is becoming more deliberate and swifter in implementing strategic actions and initiatives aimed at increasing crude oil and gas reserves as well as production. He added that the conflict between Russia and Ukraine and the attendant disruptions to global gas demand supply chain has provided Nigeria with a unique opportunity to fill the gap through the implementation of several natural gas development initiatives.
As the federal government has declared the years 2021 to 2030 to be the decade of gas, the Commission is taking steps to expand and develop the nation's huge gas resources through enhanced gas exploration, development and utilization schemes.
He revealed that the Commission has commenced full-scale audit of crude oil theft and assessment of upstream assets integrity audit to establish actual crude oil theft figures in the upstream petroleum industry. This is in view of recent controversial figures on theft volumes thrown up by some industry operators, which impacts negatively on the Federation's revenue. To this effect, the Commission obtained necessary approvals to implement advanced cargo declaration regime in upstream petroleum operations to curtail export of stolen crude oil by ensuring that crude oil and gas cargoes exported from Nigeria have a unique identifier that confirms all documentation as regards the exported consignment. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
Now joining me at this point to discuss the energy challenge and possible impact on the economy is a transport and logistic consultant, Kayode Opifa. You're welcome to Business Express.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm sorry, I'm on the road, so
okay.
Thank you very much for having me.
I think it will be interesting then, since we are talking about transport. Well, why are fuel queues resurfacing when NNPC says there is enough stock?
Surely speaking, so many things could be responsible. It could be a shortage of supply. It could be panic buying. I believe the NNPC is in best position to actually explain that. To the best of my knowledge, I don't think there is any need to panic.
Okay, I hope you're not in the queue yourself.
No, I'm not in the queue.
Okay. Okay. There is the issue of cost of bridging, which the federal government also owes marketers. Are these part of the issues?
Yes, like I said, it is not unexpected that it could be part of the issues. What you should understand is this is what you face in a non-deregulated sector, where the transporters are expected to be subsidized, and when they are owed money, you may have all these kind of situations. But be that as it may, the more important thing is the fact that shortage or whatever queue we see, I don't think is a serious issue. It's most likely a temporary issue. If it is as a result of bridging, that means somebody is owing the transporters or the marketers some income. I think that will be settled. What I will advise is people should not get panicked and they should just go about their business. There's no queue here in Lagos.
Okay. Okay, but how does this actually impact the supply value chain, transport prices of commodities? I mean, aviation fuel scarcity.
Yeah, on the case of the aviation fuel scarcity, it's just is a pure supply. Now, what you have is there are many things that is going on. You have the supply chain effect from the Ukraine-Russian war. You have the cost of purchase, that is the naira-dollar value. Then you have the issue of we are still importing fuel. So how long does it take to get it? But basically, what I see in the aviation fuel price is the deregulated sector. DPK, Jet A1, and AGO are deregulated. So it is expected that the price will get to that level. If the price of crude in the international market goes up, the cost of transportation goes up, the cost of purchasing, that is the cost of naira to dollar goes up. What do you expect? So we are just seeing a tip of the iceberg, and I think what is done worldwide when you have this kind of situation is to adjust the cost of airfare. And if you do that in Nigeria, it becomes there will be the inability to pay. So government must find a way to resolve the issue of pricing, and then at the same time find if there is need for subsidy in the sector. We have to find a way out, because once you disrupt the aviation sector, you are going to disrupt businesses all over the country. That's number one. Don't forget, AGO is also being used by the train services. If you talk to Nigerian Railway now, they will tell you they are also having problem of pricing. Okay. It's not just in the aviation sector. The same thing is affecting the BRT operations in Lagos.
Okay.
Anywhere you have my system, they are also affected. So it's not just the aviation. We have to find a way to resolve this issue.
Okay.
Maybe we go to PAI, Petroleum Industry Act, or
okay.
We
Thank you very much, Mr. Kayode.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Now moving on, the Nigerian Exchange Limited extended its bull run for the 16th successive session last week, becoming the best performing market in Africa and third in the world as prices of many stocks hit a new high in the past year.
The market opened for 3 trading days last week as the federal government declared Monday, 2nd and 3rd May 2022 as public holidays to commemorate Workers' Day and Eid Fitr celebrations. A turnover of 1.5 billion shares worth 19.6 billion in 21,494 deals were traded by investors on the floor of the exchange. The NGX All-Share Index and the market capitalization appreciated by 2.61% to close the week at 50,935.03 and 27.460 trillion naira respectively. The financial service industry led the activity chart with 1 billion shares valued at 7.7 billion naira traded in 8,670 deals. The conglomerates industry followed with 148.1 million shares, while the third place was the consumer goods industry. Trading in the top 3 equities were Union Bank of Nigeria PLC, FCMB Group PLC, and Transnational Corporation PLC. They accounted for 547.5 million shares worth 2.3 billion naira in 957 deals. 147,708 units of exchange-traded products, ETPs, valued at 3 million were traded in 19 deals, while a total of 13,800 units of federal government bonds, valued for 14.3 million, exchanged hands in 7 deals. All other indices finished higher, with the exception of the NGX Insurance, NGX AfriBank Value, NGX Merry Value, NGX Oil and Gas, NGX Growth, NGX Sovereign, which depreciated, while NGX ASAM closed flat. 49 equities appreciated in price during the week, 32 equities depreciated in price, while 75 equities remain unchanged.
And now to our discussion segment. Ife Ogunaye is the Chief Investment Strategist at Ayola Investment Management Limited, and she joins me to discuss the continuous spread of Ponzi schemes and smart investment choices. You're welcome to Business Express.
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay, I have this headline from 2021 that says Nigerians lose 300 billion naira to Ponzi scheme. Are we learning our lessons at all?
No, we are not, actually. We are not. Part of the reason is because we have a situation whereby there's not enough investor education out there or financial literacy out there. So it's bound to happen. And people and some of these Ponzi scheme operators tell people what they want to hear and not really telling people what is actually tenable.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but with the situation of the economy, complaints of bad financial crunch, people still fall victims.
Yes, they do, and it's sad because many of these schemes come in masking like as though they are legitimate, but they're not.
Okay. What is it a problem of poor investment or greed to gain like 100% returns on investment?
It's actually both.
Okay.
Both, because why? I mean, the first question that I would ask is, okay, if you're giving me returning 100%, how much are you making? Because for you to be able to return that amount, you have to be making at least twice that. So are you not paying rent in your office? I mean, these are the pertinent questions. I mean, I believe that they would have staff. They have to pay their staff salaries. But when you hear such large numbers like that, for me, I always ask questions. And the thing is, if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Okay. So now, what are the warning signs when one gets a call to invest?
Okay, I'll give you the example of one that, like someone gave me a call, and this one was a friend of mine. So for me, red flags. If you have to call other people to join the scheme so that you can enhance your returns, it's usually a red flag. The second red flag is check, are they SEC registered? Is the company registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission in Nigeria? There's a portion where you can go to on the SEC website and you can type the company name. And if you see it there, then it's a legitimate company. That's usually the first screen. The second one is, even when they tell you that they are registered in abroad, for example, always make sure that it is registered in a known jurisdiction. So when I say known jurisdiction, you have maybe even if it's going to be like an offshore or a tax haven, it should be a place like, say, Mauritius. You have Luxembourg, you have Isle of Man. All those countries have strong securities laws, but there are some others that don't have such laws, and one should always be careful. So for me, those are the top three. And anytime, and the rule of thumb I always give people is check what always speak with your investment advisor. So my rule of thumb is this: if anything is giving you a return that is higher than what the Nigerian stock market is doing, or higher than what the average bond yield is doing, so currently it's around maybe 12%, thereabouts, between 12 and 13%. If someone is coming at you with, oh, I'm giving you 40% and I'm going to give it, and I'm going to return your money in 24 hours or in really short time spans, those are all red flags. One needs to be very careful.
Okay, for the ordinary man on the street, what should he look for when investing?
For the ordinary man on the street,
yeah.
Is it, again, it's still back to the same question. Ask them, do they have a SEC license? Okay. And if the answer is no, then they don't. And unfortunately, you have some of these investment schemes telling people that, oh, your money is insured, but it's not insured. You know, so always ask. Let me see a copy of the insurance. Say that it's insured. Let me see a copy of the insurance policy. show me evidence that you are registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Once it's not registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission, it's just better to stay clear.
Okay, what then are the implications for unregulated investors?
Well, sorry, could you repeat that?
Okay, what are the, okay, let me just put it this way. How do we insure our investment now? Now, insurance to our investment.
Insurance to our investment?
Yes,
well,
of course.
The thing is, investments is an investment. There's a risk.
Of course, there's a risk. That's why I'm asking you of insurance.
There is no, you can't insure any type of investment. It's like saying that you want to insure your business against losses.
So the only way is to make sure that whatever I'm going into or whatever I'm invested into must be legit, right?
Yes, that's the most important thing. And usually, if the asset is backed by any type of security, it's difficult for them not to. You would see some sort of a return. It might be a negative return, but you will not lose all your money. Do you understand? So nobody will wake up one day and just disappear.
Okay, thank you
which
very
is why
much.
It's always important to have SEC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Ife Gunaya, for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.
European and Asian stocks retreat as global markets remain rattled over inflation. Japan's Nikkei falls more than 2%. Let's join Ineka Oko for a brief look at the market.
Hello and welcome to the Global Market Review. European stocks pulled back on Monday, tracking negative sentiment globally as investors continued to ponder over persistently high inflation. The DAX in Germany slipped 0.92% below the flatline. London's FTSE also dropped 0.97%, and France's CAC 40 depreciated by 1.17%. However, it was mixed trading in Asia as investors watched for market reaction to Chinese trade data that came in better than expected. In Japan, the Nikkei 225 fell 2.53% to 26,319.34. The Shanghai Composite gained 0.09%, while there were no markets in Hong Kong due to a public holiday. U.S. stock futures fell in early trades as traders waited for the market to find its footing after a dramatic week of trading previously. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 380 points. S&P 500 slipped 1.35%, and Nasdaq Composite dropped 1.57%. The bearish sentiment that characterized most markets across the globe also extended to the African continent, with nearly all the stocks in negative territory. Kenya slipped 1.93% to lead losses, followed by South Africa and Namibia, while Tunisia posted gains. And that's Global Market Review.
Well, that's it. Business Express returns Tuesday by 9:30 a.m.